What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today, as the title suggests, I am racing in a sweat lobby. It's basically filled with league races and F1 esports drivers. I've not seen a lobby of this caliber before, and I've not experienced gameplay like this before in an open lobby. Got Danny Moreno, Josh Iduwu, so many fast people, Floris Wages. I've definitely butchered some of those names. But F1 esports drivers, tier 1 league races from around the world are in this lobby. I joined Danny Moreno's Twitch open lobby session, and man, this was something else. So grab the popcorn, enjoy. I'm actually starting from the back of the grid, which I do intentionally in my open lobbies, but this is random grid, and I've been placed here in a field of sweat. So let's see how we do here in Bahrain as we get underway. Some people taking a very cautious approach to turn one. We head down into the first corner. We try and do a Lando Norris of overtaking around the outside off the circuit. To no avail, though. We run into the back of Floris there, the Haas F1 driver, or former Haas F1 driver, I'm not too sure. The grid of F1 esports drivers chops and changes around pretty crazily, but I had to jump into the menus there and change my settings because I was running with some virtual Grand Prix settings, you know, auto ERS and auto pit assist, and you know, that usual jargon. So I had to turn that off to make myself faster, and we are back underway with this race once more. So yeah, a lot of sweaty people. Pretty much everyone in this race are league racers and or F1 esports drivers. And then there's me, a YouTuber, a washed up league racing dude from back in the day with my new wheel. So yeah, this was filmed about a week or two ago, just after the first virtual GP. So still getting used to my wheel. That's not an excuse because I'm pretty fast with it, but that's just something of note. Anyway, we've come to the end of the first lap and we're back on the pack again. It's really an interesting dynamic of racing because everyone is a really skilled and high caliber driver. So everyone's closely matched. People aren't going to make mistakes. And so the gameplay really changes. All of a sudden, you can't rely on crashes to get through the field. You basically have to be aggressive. Look at this massive train of cars. It extends all the way to like 3rd place. So from 3rd to 17th is the biggest train in F1 game existence. It's pretty mad. And 5 laps just doesn't do this race justice. You don't have time to get through the field in a race like this. You kind of just got to barge yourself out of the way. And maybe in turn, if we keep it clean, we can make up a lot of positions if people really get their elbows out. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't know how old this lobby is, that being how many races these guys have done in a row. But this is my very first race. I'm a little bit fresh, but I'd imagine as this lobby progresses through the night, people will get more and more tilted and start to dive bomb each other more. So look out for that potentially later on in this race and in the races that are yet to come that I'm going to upload on my channel. So yeah, here we are on lap 3, where we've saved up a bit of ERS over the last couple of laps, and now we're utilizing it at the end of the race. Up the inside of Eduardo in the Ferrari. But then here there's contact, and we're kind of like stuck together. Eduardo doesn't leave us any space at all, and we get the big don't ask, the big fend. NRL fans will know what that is. I just got Greg Inglis? Yeah, basically. I got the fend. And, yeah, gotta start again. Anyway, Lewis, not Hamilton, in the Mercedes, making a mistake at turn 1 there. And it looks like he is out of rhythm, out of sorts. And we make the most of getting up the inside there into turn 4. And we're now up to P16. This is lap 4. Lap 4. And we're only in 16th place. We've only made up 4 positions so far. I told you, this is a sweat lobby. The sweatiest 5-lap lobby I've ever seen. And so, you know, oh, here we go. Here comes Lewis up the inside with big boy dive bomb with his 6-second time penalties against his name. look out. Yeah, I've not made any mistakes. I've not had any crashes. I've not had really any misfortune. I've never been this far back in an online 5-lap race after this long. It's pretty mental. I'm probably not going to get points. Not unless there's a lot of drama that occurs on this last lap. Look at everyone getting their elbows out now. Everybody trying to break the slipstream. It's 3 wide down into turn 1. Is there going to be dramas down there? There is for me and Eduardo, I tell you that much, as we dive bomb him. A bit of a squeeze there. He squeezes us back, and it's anarchy. And he's off the track. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm not proud of that. I definitely dive bombed him from too far back, but he turned in and we got glued again. So that was that. We're in P14 somehow. People up the road have got 2-second time penalties. Fireworks are going off. People are getting squeezed off the track. And that is P13 in the impossible Bahrain Grand Prix. 20th to 13th. Now that, by normal circumstances, is disgraceful by my standards. But you're just going to look at the caliber of the people in this lobby to recognize that that actually wasn't a bad attempt. We now move on to USA, where I don't know. I feel like I'm not good here compared to the AI, but we're not racing AI. We're racing people. Oh, and it's default setups. Only the preset engineer setups you can choose from. I'm going for the one on the right by one click from the middle. I think that's the best one. Anyway, 5 red lights, and we are underway for Kota. I'm starting alongside my McLaren associate, Mr. Josh Iduwu. He was the guy who qualified for me in the virtual GP in the last video that I did. The guy with the world's best headset. So he's a rapid guy, and I've just been yeeted by the Racing Points, but in a good way. I got yeeted back in the right direction after I made contact with one of the Haas drivers, so that was actually pretty fortunate on my front. Usually, whenever there's contact, whenever I have a mini spin, I'm normally the one who comes off worst where, but I actually fared pretty well in that one. Anyway, we're up to P17, despite the moments. We're going to go up the inside. No, the Racing Point goes up the inside of the other Racing Point of Alex O'Grady. Familiar name on my channel from Open Lobbies. You guys will know he's around my pace as well, so that just shows the quality of driver. Like, if I'm not on form and I don't get through the field, and if Alex doesn't get through the field, you know, it's not just me. Look at the dive bomb from the McLaren on the inside. Get absolutely yeeted off. And I've got an illegal overtake warning for that. Run into the back of the Haas again. There goes the Racing Point on the right-hand side. I've had a correction, and that is an illegal overtake for having a correction. I had to kind of correct and kind of go off the circuit in order to not spin. So that is, again, a bit of misfortune there. Back down to P18 in this race. A lot of penalties left, right, and center. Kota is going to catch people out in terms of corner cutting penalties, illegal overtakes, and such. Plus, you know, people are just going to get generally more tilted in this kind of scenario. This reminds me of like a Fortnite scrim lobby where everyone is building 1x1 boxes. In the final circle, it's Congestion City, and, you know, it's a bit RNG. Not going to lie. So let's see where we end up in this one. Hopefully we end up in a better position than what we were in Bahrain. But you just never know, especially when you've got people in front lagging like Mr. Alex O'Grady. Oh, nearly ran into the back of him there. But, yeah, I really want to get a move on this next lap. We've still got a lot of ERS saved up. That's my strategy. Since we're starting at the back, there's no point using up a lot of ERS. I'm going to try and save it, pick my way through, get a few bonus positions while not doing too much, and then at the end, utilize all the pace that we've saved up, and then go from there. Hey, look, it's our good friend, Eduardo, from the first race. Is he going to get his elbows out? Probably. As we go around the outside into turn 1. Love the outside line down here, but we get balked behind the McLaren. Eduardo gets back through, and he actually is going to gain a position here, probably. Those guys are utilizing overtake. I'm also getting overtaken by Hugh behind me in the Alpha Tauri. But thankfully, we were able to hold on to that one just about. Eduardo gets muscled out wide. That puts me offline, and that allows Hugh to go up my inside. But, again, we hold on to the position. We squeeze him out a little bit, and it's still P17. Look at the hard racing where We're having to pull out all the stops here just to hold on to our position here. This is mental. There goes the racing point of Alex O'Grady, and I think the McLaren, who's been argy-bargy on everyone today. That puts us up to P15. We're going to slide on past Eduardo, who's moving over in a straight line. That makes it 14th. A lot of penalties for people up ahead, so there's big potential for gains here as we get the spot. Is Eduardo going to dive bomb? No, is the answer. I actually left the door open a little bit and I went really deep just to anticipate that potentially, but we got away with that. So, now the focus now shifts to these next three up ahead. There's a bit of an air gap after these three as we've all been squabbling so much. There's another massive train inside the top 10. I think people are in the pit lane. Not sure why. But anyway, these three are squabbling so much it's allowing me to buy into the fight. There goes the Ferrari, rejoining on top of the Haas. And now we're going to get up the inside of Chris here, potentially. Down into turn 1. Inside line doesn't really work at turn 1 because the person on the outside can get all the power so much earlier. I'm inundated with people around me on penalties. It's side by side for me and Chris, and we are now in the points. We're in the points in a sweat lobby. That is amazing. I mean, there's probably a lot more potential for more to be gained here because the guy in P8 got 4 seconds worth of time penalties. Julian right in front of me has got penalties. And you know, that big train of cars is squabbling away. So there's every chance that we could catch up if we can keep it clean potentially. I'm in the slipstream of Julian. I'm having a little look down here into this little left-hander, which you can cut massively, by the way, on strict corner cutting. Codemasters just turn a blind eye when it comes to that corner for some reason. Everybody knows it. Everybody uses it. So it's fair game. Anyway, it's the last lap of the Grand Prix. And again, penalties are racking up for everyone around me except me. It's like the virtual Grand Prix. I'm a changed man in 2021. I tell you what. I'm a clean boy when it comes to the corner cuts. I mean, when I want to be clean, I can be sometimes. But knowing me, I'll probably get a penalty on this lap and undo it all, just like I did in my last video. Anyway, old mate Julian is kind of getting away on this lap. I think I've butchered it a little bit at a couple of points. Lewis has retired from the race, up in P8, and that moves us up another position. So we well and truly could get P8 in this Grand Prix. Just need to make sure we can stay close to this guy. But I still want to get him on track. He's low on ERS. He's got under 10%. And that's why the red light is blinking on the rear, just above the rear diffuser. I don't know what you would call that. It's where the monkey seat used to be a couple of years ago. Anyway, through the final sector of this race. We're getting ever closer to Julian, but there's no real overtaking opportunities. Danny Moreno, the Mercedes, the newly announced Mercedes F1 Esports driver, wins this race. I'm not surprised. Through the final corner, we are going to get P8 in this race, maybe even higher. No, it is P8. And that is a pretty good effort to gain that many positions in a field of drivers like this. At least like 3 F1 Esports drivers. And the rest, high caliber league racers. I will certainly take that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you need to see plenty more racing game content. I've got a few more, or quite a few more races from this lobby, which I'm going to upload in a future video. It gets spicier. So if you want to see that, let me know, and I'll bring it to your sub boxes very soon. But that's it from me today. Until the next one, I'll see you next time.